Hello and welcome! We have reached the end of the 20s and we are going forward into the 30s with the Silly Symphonies. Now, there are over 75 Silly Symphonies together, but I wanted to focus today on the seasons. So there's 4 in total, of course there's 4 seasons. The first one was called Springtime. So in Springtime, that one was released in 1929, and all of these are about 5, 6, 7 minutes long, ranging, and they focus classical pieces of music. In Springtime, they focus mainly on bugs and other animals being born and that traditional springtime feeling, and they're all dancing around and having a gay old time, but they keep getting eaten by other animals. And it's a little bit weird watching this. But otherwise it's adorable, yet a little bit creepy at the same time. But there are some cute little scenes in there, and as you move forward, the enjoyment level increases for each one. As you get to summer, it continues where it does focus again on the bugs, dancing around, having a gay old time, and nobody gets eaten in this one. I spoke too soon once more. But I do enjoy a lot of the scenes in here. As you move forward into autumn, it goes from focused on bugs' life and to more woodland creatures, and you have the squirrels and the crows and the badgers and beavers and animals such as that getting ready to stock away for the winter time. So at this point forward, it's really nice to see the progression that they kind of are lapping into each other, and even though they were produced and released at different times of the year, they were all, the 3 of them besides Springtime, they were all released in 1930. So at this point I think they already knew ahead of time that they were probably preparing for each other and just getting ready episode per episode basically in that sense. So at the end of autumn you kind of start to transform into winter, but it doesn't fully go into winter until we get into winter, the Symphony Winter. And that one I think is my favorite. I think between summer and autumn and winter they all had some nice moments, but winter I think is my favorite. No one gets eaten in this one. It's great. I appreciate it. Thank you. And no one really got eaten in autumn either, but you do have the one gag where the squirrel is trying to pull for a nut and there's a bug attached, because I'm like, the nut's alive? I'm shocked by it, but no, it's a bug, and he kind of kills it, but the bug's alive, so no one gets eaten either. So that's always good. I appreciate when no one gets eaten in these cartoons because I don't really like that humor. But winter is really nice. Again, the woodland animals are partying around, dancing around, and they're dealing with the snowstorm. You have more of the winter animals like the deer, but honestly the deer are kind of creepy to me. They look like the devil. All the animals are ice skating and having some wintry fun, so that's cute to see. And at the end they go and gather around Mr. Groundhog for the weather. And I really appreciate that. I think is my favorite of all of the little scenes here. It was really cute that they have Weather Prophet on his door, and it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh in the sense where you have the owl as the prophet and the very smart one, so the groundhog's a really smart one because they're waiting to see if there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. And so he comes out and he has his eyes closed, walks out to see his shadow or not, and he does not see a shadow. So they all start to celebrate. But then the clouds move in and his shadow appears and he freaks out, and the shadow wants to crash into his home and he won't let him until the clouds readjust again and the shadow disappears. But it means that there are 6 more weeks left of winter, and soon we will be finding out that in reality. So I think it's cute, and they were all enjoyable overall. I really liked the direction, and I really did appreciate the animation style, as well as just the idea of these animals and how they are surviving per season and how they're in their natural habitat, but giving them human antics and characteristics in that sense. So for me, these are more of the enjoyable films that I've seen from this time period. I'm going to put all the links down below for each one, and let me know which one of these was your favorites, because there's 4 of them overall. Like I said, I'm going to go in between autumn and winter, but I think autumn and winter is my favorite one of these. And there was some really adorable moments overall that I found myself laughing at. So it's definitely a good watch, and we're going to continue to look at some more Silly Symphonies later on, because there's some more featured to Halloween and Christmas, so I'm going to save those for those time periods when it comes to those holidays. So that'll be later on this year, but you can definitely see the progression and the idea of this being transformed and executed into Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, which are also coming up in next week, I believe. So that's gonna be soon as well. But as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.